In a single-phase system, the neutral wire should not be fused. The neutral wire is connected directly to the overloads. The overloads protect the motor from overloads and short circuits. Fusing the neutral in a single-phase system is generally not permitted by electrical codes and can create unsafe conditions. Here's why. Firstly, the purpose of a fuse is to protect the circuit from overcurrent conditions such as short circuits or excessive current draw. In a properly functioning single-phase circuit, the neutral wire carries the unbalanced current between the line and the load. Fusing the neutral can lead to several problems. Secondly, if the neutral fuse blows, the circuit loses its reference to ground. This can cause the voltage on the connected equipment to rise to the full line voltage, potentially damaging the equipment and creating a shock hazard. Thirdly, if there is an imbalance in the load, the current in the neutral wire will increase. If the neutral fuse blows in this situation, it can interrupt the return path for the current, causing the voltage to shift. This can lead to overvoltage on some loads and undervoltage on others, which can damage or cause malfunction of connected devices. The overloads are designed to protect the motor from overcurrent and short-circuit situations. They are thermal or magnetic devices that trip the circuit when the current exceeds the motor's rated capacity for a certain period. The neutral wire is connected directly to the overloads so that the overloads can accurately sense the current flowing through the motor. If the neutral were fused, the fuse could blow before the overloads trip, potentially leaving the motor unprotected. In a typical single-phase motor starter, the line wire is connected to a fuse or circuit breaker for overcurrent protection. The neutral wire is connected directly to the overload relay. The overload relay is connected to the motor. If the motor draws too much current, the overload relay will trip, disconnecting the motor from the power supply. It's crucial to adhere to local electrical codes and regulations when wiring a single-phase motor starter. The NEC, or National Electrical Code, provides guidelines for safe and proper wiring practices. Article 430 covers motors, motor circuits, and controllers, including the requirements for overcurrent protection, overload protection, and grounding. Consult the NEC and local codes for specific requirements in your area. Grounding is also important for safety. The equipment grounding conductor, often referred to as the ground wire, provides a low impedance path for fault current to return to the source. This helps to quickly trip the circuit breaker or fuse in the event of a ground fault, minimizing the risk of electric shock. The grounding conductor should be connected to the motor frame, the metal enclosure of the motor starter, and the building's grounding system. When installing a single-phase motor starter, it's important to use appropriately sized conductors. The conductor size should be based on the motor's full load current rating and any applicable derating factors. Using conductors that are too small can cause excessive voltage drop, overheating, and even fire. Conductors must be rated for the appropriate voltage and temperature. The wiring should be done neatly and securely, using proper connectors and terminations. All connections should be tightened to the manufacturer's specifications to prevent loose connections, which can cause arcing and overheating. Before working on any electrical equipment, always energize the circuit. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off. Follow lockout/tagout procedures to prevent accidental re-energization of the circuit. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and insulated gloves. Electrical work should only be performed by qualified electricians who are familiar with the applicable codes and standards. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to do the job. Ensuring proper wiring and protection of single-phase motor starters is essential for safety and reliability. By understanding the role of the neutral wire, overloads, and grounding, you can help to prevent electrical hazards and ensure the proper operation of the motor. Remember to consult the NEC and local electrical codes for specific requirements in your area. Safe electrical practices are critical for protecting yourself, others, and equipment from electrical hazards. The overloads are thermal or magnetic devices designed to protect the motor from damage caused by excessive current draw over a period. The motor's nameplate provides important information about the motor's characteristics, including its full load current, voltage, horsepower, and service factor. The full load current is the amount of current the motor draws when operating at its rated horsepower and voltage. The overload protection should be sized based on the motor's full load current. The service factor is a multiplier that indicates how much overload the motor can handle for a short period. For example, a motor with a service factor of 1.15 can handle 115% of its rated load for a limited time. When selecting overload protection, it's important to consider the motor service factor. There are two main types of overload relays: thermal and magnetic. Thermal overload relays use a bimetallic strip or a melting alloy to sense the current. When the current exceeds the relay set point, the bimetallic strip bends or the melting alloy melts, tripping the relay. Magnetic overload relays use an electromagnet to sense the current. When the current exceeds the relay's set point, the electromagnet trips the relay. Thermal overload relays are typically used for general-purpose applications. Magnetic overload relays are typically used for applications where fast tripping is required, such as with motors that start and stop frequently. The overload relay should be installed in the motor starter enclosure. The overload relay should be wired in series with the motor. When the overload relay trips, it will disconnect the motor from the power supply. The overload relay should be reset manually after it trips. The overload relay should be inspected periodically to ensure that it is functioning properly. If the overload relay is damaged, it should be replaced. It is also important to understand the difference between overload protection and short-circuit protection. Overload protection is designed to protect the motor from damage caused by excessive current draw over a period. Short-circuit protection is designed to protect the circuit from damage caused by a short circuit. A short circuit is an unintended connection between two conductors that have a difference in voltage. Short circuits can cause very high currents to flow, which can damage equipment and cause fires. Short-circuit protection is typically provided by fuses or circuit breakers. Fuses are one-time devices that melt when the current exceeds their rating. Circuit breakers are reusable devices that trip when the current exceeds their rating. Fuses and circuit breakers should be sized to protect the circuit from short circuits. The NEC provides guidelines for sizing fuses and circuit breakers. It is important to use the correct size fuse or circuit breaker for the circuit. Using a fuse or circuit breaker that is too small will cause it to trip unnecessarily. Using a fuse or circuit breaker that is too large will not provide adequate protection from short circuits. Single-phase motor starters are available in a variety of sizes and configurations. The size of the motor starter should be based on the motor's horsepower rating. The configuration of the motor starter will depend on the application. Some motor starters are designed for across-the-line starting, while others are designed for reduced voltage starting. Across-the-line starting is the simplest type of motor starting. With across-the-line starting, the motor is connected directly to the power supply. This results in high starting current, which can cause voltage dips and other problems. Reduced voltage starting is used to reduce the starting current. There are several different methods of reduced voltage starting, including auto-transformer starting, pot winding starting, and Y-delta starting. Auto-transformer starting uses an auto-transformer to reduce the voltage applied to the motor during starting. Pot winding starting connects only a portion of the motor windings during starting. Y-delta starting connects the motor windings in a Y configuration during starting and then switches to a delta configuration after the motor has reached a certain speed. The choice of starting method will depend on the application and the requirements of the power system. Single-phase motors are commonly used in a variety of applications, including pumps, fans, compressors, and appliances. They are typically used for applications that require less than 5 horsepower. Single-phase motors are less efficient than three-phase motors, but they are simpler and less expensive. Three-phase motors are typically used for applications that require more than 5 horsepower. They are more efficient than single-phase motors, but they are more complex and expensive. Electrical safety is of utmost importance when working with motor starters and electrical equipment. Always to energize the circuit before working on any electrical equipment. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off. Follow lockout/tagout procedures to prevent accidental re-energization of the circuit. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment such as safety glasses and insulated gloves. Electrical work should only be performed by qualified electricians who are familiar with the applicable codes and standards. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to do the job. By following these safety precautions, you can help to prevent electrical hazards and ensure the proper operation of the motor. Proper grounding and bonding are also crucial for electrical safety. Grounding provides a path for fault current to return to the source, which helps to trip the circuit breaker or fuse in the event of a ground fault. Bonding connects all metal parts of the electrical system together, which helps to equalize the voltage potential and reduce the risk of electric shock. The grounding electrode system should be connected to the building's grounding system. The grounding electrode system should consist of a ground rod, a ground plate, or a metallic water pipe. The grounding electrode conductor should be sized according to the NEC. The bonding conductors should be sized according to the NEC. All metal parts of the electrical system should be bonded together, including the motor frame, the motor starter enclosure, and the metal conduit. The bonding conductors should be connected to the grounding electrode system. Proper grounding and bonding can help to prevent electric shock and ensure the safe operation of the electrical system. Remember that electrical codes and regulations vary depending on the location. Always consult the local electrical codes and regulations before performing any electrical work. The NEC is a widely adopted standard for electrical safety, but it is not a substitute for local codes and regulations. Local codes and regulations may be more stringent than the NEC. It is important to comply with all applicable codes and regulations. Failure to comply with electrical codes and regulations can result in fines, penalties, and even injury or death. Electrical safety is a serious matter and should not be taken lightly. If you have any questions about electrical safety, consult a qualified electrician. In summary, fusing the neutral wire in a single-phase motor starter disconnect is not recommended and is generally prohibited by electrical codes. The neutral wire provides the return path for current and should be directly connected to the overloads for accurate motor protection. Always consult the NEC and local electrical codes for specific requirements and ensure that all electrical work is performed by qualified personnel.